Shalom and welcome to Parshas Lech Lcha. In this Torah portion, as a general overview, we have Abraham, who God tells to leave his house, his father's country, leave everything and go. Why does Abraham go? Well, because he's that kind of guy. He listens to God. In fact, this is one of 10 different tests that God has for Abraham. And he passes them all. Now, during this Torah portion, Abraham travels with his wife and his nephew Lot, and they go to a place called Haran. From Haran they go to Israel, and in their travelings they separate. They have a little disagreement, they separate, and Lot is in the city of Sodom, made famous of Sodom and Gomorrah, but that's next week's Torah portion. In this week's Torah portion, we have 4 kings that battle 5 kings, and they were so strong, their armies were so powerful that they overcame the 5 kings, and one of the people that was captured was Abraham's nephew Lot. Abraham gets his people together and they go and they fight these 4 kings. They're victorious, party is celebrated, everything is great. But once again, Lot goes back to Sodom. Abraham goes towards Jerusalem, where he is going to camp out. It's at this time that God makes a covenant, a special agreement between Abraham and God. It's called the Brit Bein HaBetarim. God makes this covenant with Abraham, and he makes a deal. He says, I will be your God, and you will be my people. I will never forsake you or your children. I will stay steadfast. And you and your people, your children, will always keep me as your God. And so it was agreed. During this agreement, this covenant, God calls Abraham outside of his tent and he says, look up at the stars. Can you count the stars? Well, your children will be as numerous as those stars. And hence from evermore we are always compared to the stars. Now my question to you is, here's the question of the week. Why are we compared to the stars? What's so special about the stars? Good question. Well, one of the answers given is because when a person is wandering around at night and they need some point of navigation, they look to the heavens, they look to the stars. And by looking at the stars, you're able to see which way to go. It gives you guidance. That's right. When you are walking around in darkness, the stars give you guidance. So too, we as the Jewish people have that obligation to be a shining example. When the people of the world are walking in a moral darkness, when they walk around in darkness, we must be the stars that give them direction. Point the moral compass. Whom have you helped? And maybe it begins with ourselves. First, we must walk in the light. We must look to the stars, look to heaven, and find our own moral compass. And then, it's not enough for us to be walking in the right path, but we should be a shining example to those around us. Yes, now that you have heard this little nugget on the Parsha, now it's time for you to go study the rest of the Parsha. Thank you, and Shalom.